Good afternoon. As you know, we are working hard to bring new jobs, housing, recreation, and excitement to New York City's 578 miles of waterfront. And one place where this is all coming together is here at Coney Island, a community where we've developed a comprehensive revival plan, where we've made major investments, and where we've already seen a big turnaround in recent years. Now, back in May, we opened the second phase of the new and wildly popular Scream Zone amusement park, where Marty Markowitz has promised to go on every ride, and talked about the new and expanded stores and restaurants on and near the boardwalk. And now we're launching the next phase of Coney Island's revival, because right from the start, the comprehensive expansion and renovation of the New York Aquarium, a major public-private capital campaign, has been a key element in revitalizing Coney Island. And today I'm delighted to help unveil the exciting new design for what's going to be the centerpiece of the sea change at the aquarium, the new Ocean Wonders Sharks building. The marvelous creatures on display in this new building will include over 100 different species of marine animals, including sea turtles, rays, and thousands of schooling fish. Now, I'm afraid they'll put our City Hall fish tanks to shame, but strollers along the boardwalk will be welcomed to the building, which they're not necessarily into City Hall during the business day, by a major new shimmering wall designed to evoke the look of the sea. They'll also be greeted by a phenomenal exhibit of the aquarium's grinning greeters, its live sharks. Now, here in New York, we do frown on loan sharks, pool sharks, and card sharks. But the aquarium, and you have to write this one. But the aquarium shark are another kettle of fish. In fact, it's fitting that we're making this announcement right in the teeth of Shark Week, which, as you know, is an annual popular wildlife extravaganza on the Discovery Channel. The design for the new Ocean Wonders Sharks building will make the aquarium much more visible and attractive to Coney Island's many thousands of visitors. The design will bring marine animals, including the sharks, inside the building up close to visitors. The exhibits inside the buildings will give visitors a deeper understanding of the sometimes mysterious environment that these incredible animals inhabit. They'll also present the important work done by the Wildlife Conservation Society, which operates the aquarium, work that helps the world's sea life, including sharks, survive and thrive. And we're confident that this Ocean Wonders Sharks building, which John Dolan, the aquarium's executive director, and John Cavalli, the vice president of the Wildlife Conservation Society, have done so much to bring to fruition, will be a major new round draw to the aquarium. Construction on the Ocean Wonders Sharks building will begin in October. The building is scheduled to open to the public in 2015. It is a $127.5 million project. The city, through the Department of Cultural Affairs, which is represented here today by its Commissioner Kate Levin, is contributing just over $93 million to this project. The City Council and the Borough Presidents of both Brooklyn and Staten Island, and both are here today. They are providing funding also. The Wildlife Conservation Society is raising private funds, and I'm happy to announce that includes a wonderful $7.5 million gift that this project will receive from two major supporters of the Wildlife Conservation Society who have joined us today, Don Zucker and his wife Barbara Zucker, who is also a WCS trustee. So on behalf of all New Yorkers, I want to thank you both for a wonderful gift and for a generous investment in the future of this wonderful aquarium. Now, as the oldest continually operating aquarium in the nation, it's got a great history, and with your help, it is going to have a great future as well. To tell us more about that future, let me introduce the new president and CEO of the Wildlife Conservation Society, who assumed his new post on August 1st. He's an internationally recognized authority on conservation biology and environmental policy, who previously directed the Smithsonian Institution's National Museum of Natural History. So without further ado, I give you Dr. Cristián Samper.
Thank you very much, Mayor Bloomberg, and it feels great to be here in New York.
We're happy to have you.
And I want to thank all of the supporters for this wonderful project. Council Member Recchia, Borough President Marty Markowitz, Borough President James Molinaro, Commissioner Kate Levin. There you are. Thank you for being here with us. And of course, Don and Barbara Zucker, who've given us the support. And I also want to welcome Assemblyman Alec Crasty for being here with us today. Thank you very much. I also want to acknowledge our trustee, Brian Hrbek, who's here with us, who's also a great friend and supporter of the aquarium. Thank you, Brian, for being here. As you said, this is my 16th day on the job.
Way to go.
Not a bad way to start the tenure on this beautiful day and to be here on Coney Island. It's really great to begin and to announce this very exciting project for Brooklyn, for New York, and for WCS. I'm delighted to be here, and this is one of the reasons I came here, the opportunity to further our mission about saving wildlife and wild places, but connecting wildlife to people in places like Coney Island and to the people of New York. As the mayor said, we now have the approval for the design and the private funding to move ahead with this wonderful new exhibition, Ocean Wonders Sharks. And this will be a major new iconic building and a whole new experience here in Coney Island. And it will be really great because it will be fully integrated here with the Coney Island Boardwalk, and it will showcase the marine life of the New York seascape, which is something that's right here next to us, but we don't necessarily know much about it. But this will be a great economic initiative here for the city, and it will generate some employment over the next 3 years as we're doing this project. Now we're ready to move ahead with this. As the mayor mentioned, it's a public-private partnership. We are making an investment in this. We're very grateful to you, Mr. Mayor, for the funding that's provided by the city. And we will be breaking ground in October. So we'll get right to work on this project, and we expect to complete it in 2015. Right now, our attendance here at the aquarium is about 750,000 people, which makes it the major cultural attraction here in Brooklyn. We expect, as a result of this renovation, the attendance will be over 1 million once we open, which will be great for us and for the people here. Now, I haven't been here very long, but I've been told that many, many people have worked on this. The idea of this renovation has been around for about 8 years. A lot of people have worked on it, but many people could be acknowledged. But I do want to take a moment to acknowledge Domenic Recchia. I know you really worked on this project, believed in it from the beginning. I know we were presented with a shark in your office early on. You just told me about it. So now we're going to bring some more sharks to Brooklyn, to New York. But thank you, Domenic, for everything that you've done. It really would not have happened without you as well. And of course, the support of Staten Island President Borough James Molinaro. Thank you for what you're doing. It's great to see you here investing in our project. And of course, Marty, thank you as well for everything you're doing. It's great. It's all these players. And because it is a public-private partnership, of course, we needed a private leadership gift. And Don and Barbara, thank you for joining us early on and investing in this project. All in all, WCS will be investing $34.4 million of private funding in this project, which really highlights this collaboration. There will be a new 500,000-gallon aquarium that will be built here as part of this 57,000 square foot shark exhibit, and it will feature about 115 species of marine animals, including sharks, rays, sea turtles, and many more species. And I'm confident that this will really highlight the sea life that's right off our coast to the children and the millions of visitors that come here. I was here with my own 2 children last week, and there were millions of children, well, not millions, but hundreds of children right here watching the sea life, which is the kind of opportunity when you bring a young child to a place like this aquarium, it opens their minds, it opens their hearts, and you can really have an opportunity to learn more about this. Now, despite their very fierce reputation, sharks, skates, and rays are among the most vulnerable wildlife out there right now. Many of you have seen this, you see it through the Discovery Channel and many others, but it is problems like shark finning that are decimating the population. So this will be an opportunity to educate the people of New York about this incredible wildlife that is right here, and hopefully help us be good stewards for the future and for future generations to come. So thank you all for being here. Thank you to all my team at WCS that's worked on this, John, Bertina, Mary, and John, everyone that's done so much work to pull this together. It's great to be here, and we'll get right to work. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Dr. Samper, thank you. I also want to thank Don and Barbara Zucker for their very generous support of this important project and invite them to say a few words about it.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Cristián. He's here somewhere. And thank you, Domenic and Marty. I'm honored to join you here today for this announcement. I am very pleased to be able to contribute this private part of the public-private partnership. Don and I are enthusiastic about leading the charge for the WCS Aquarium. We want to transform this aquarium. We deserve it. We're in New York City, and we should have a first-class aquarium.
Absolutely.
It's vital in this city, which is a harbor city, which we forget a lot, that people become more aware of the importance of conserving wildlife and wild places. Ocean Wonders Sharks is a vehicle by which the Wildlife Conservation Society will educate and inform people about marine life and habitats in New York and the importance of maintaining healthy waterways in and around the city. I will work hard with the WCS team to entice others in the community to be part of this transformation. I always say that it's not within me to ask people for money, but I give people the opportunity to be part of something that is really, really important. And I think with that message, we will make a lot of headway. I started this adventure with WCS former and retired President and CEO Steve Sanderson. I'm looking forward to working with Cristián, who has a love for oceans, and the whole WCS team to ensure we have a grand opening in 2015. In Coney Island, in 2015, we will be happy to all yell, "Shark!" Thank you.
Well, thank you very much. That's funny. Our administration's strongest and most enthusiastic partner is being rivaled by you, as a matter of fact. He is the Borough President of Brooklyn. You might call him the Kingfish of Kings County, Marty Markowitz.
Oh, boy. Thank you, Mayor. Thank you very, very much. And Hayda Yasu, good to see you, Hayda. I want to thank, of course, our Mayor, who in coordination with our dynamic City Council Member Domenic Recchia, he's also known as Mr. Coney Island, prioritized in the Mayor's 5-borough economic plan that the future of Coney Island would be a big part of it. And it's fair to say that Coney Island had yet to see its best days until your administration. And I congratulate you, Mayor, and Domenic Recchia. And of course, we wouldn't be here today if it weren't for the generosity of Donald and Barbara Zucker. By the way, you guys proved something. Once a Brooklynite, always a Brooklynite. No matter where you live, you prove it, 100%. I also want to commend my colleagues in government, Assemblymember Alec Brooke-Krasny, outstanding, Seth Pinsky, our EDC president, Kate Levin, someone I always look up to as our Cultural Affairs Commissioner, and the two Johns, John Dolan, I thank you so very, very much, and John Cavelli, outstanding. And I must tell you, Dr. Samper, you are very fortunate to have the two Johns and your entire staff here. Really outstanding. And let me say, if I may, to you, felicidades y buena suerte. Okay, see. And certainly the entire Wildlife Conservation Society. And James Molinaro, I always say Staten Island is Brooklyn suburb, that's for sure. Also, Brooklyn Southwest is what we refer to it. But the truth is, no one understands Staten Island better than Brooklyn. That's for sure. Now, Coney Island's on a roll. When the fantastic Ocean Wonders shark exhibit is completed, visitors will be able to add even more excitement to their day. You know the famous line from the movie Jaws, you're going to need a bigger boat? Well, here in Coney Island, we needed a bigger tank. And we're getting one, a 500,000-gallon monster that will be home to roughly 40 sharks. In politics, they say you have to swim with the sharks. But thankfully here on Coney Island, we'll be protected by glass and can work with them in their natural habitat instead of in the halls of government. Now, the New York Aquarium is the oldest continually operating aquarium in the country. And I want Atlanta to hear me. You had your day. Okay, so when this exhibit is complete, it'll be another reminder that we have the most thrilling aquarium in America. Not only that, this renovation is just the latest of many exciting developments here in Coney Island, America's original playground. Steeplechase Plaza is nearing completion. The YMCA of Coney Island is being built as we speak. Thank you, Dom. PS 188 has a brand new gym. Thank you, Dom and the mayor. And for all those adrenaline junkies, we got the world-famous Cyclone. And for the really brave, there's Luna Park and Scream Zone. And I told you, Mayor, I would go on those rides if your bucks would comfort my fall. That's all. So far, you haven't called me. And the newest ride, Boardwalk Flight, that will have you walking on air, and a new go-kart track. But if you ask me, and I know that Zamperla is here, Valerio, the stationary cars on Dino's Wonder Wheel are my type of ride. Now, let's not forget Coney Island will see its first market development project in a generation with the nearby Ocean Dreams condos right at the boardwalk. Or if you're looking to roll the dice, you might be able to double down in Coney Island with a casino. Perhaps in a few short years, I really see a casino in Coney Island's future. Let's make it happen. And hopefully before the end of next season, the parachute jump will be lit with plenty of Brooklyn swag. And we're one step closer to our goal, thank you, Mayor and Dom, of having a world-class seasonal amphitheater here on Coney Island. By the way, I hope some of you that are free join me tonight. Gladys Knight and the Commodores pay Coney Island a visit as we wrap up our 34th season. With all this excitement, it's no wonder that America's national newspaper, USA Today, on the front page of Tuesday's edition, called Brooklyn the New Bohemia. I like that. And GQ magazine in November called Brooklyn the coolest city on the planet. How you like that, Nate Bliss? Now, I always say, and our community board, I always say Coney Island is home to more characters and character than anywhere else in the world. And soon the aquarium will have some of the wildest, most exotic characters from our oceans. And then we can truly say in Brooklyn that we're home to everyone from everywhere. Congratulations. Thank you.
Marty, thank you. Our administration's Coney Island revitalization plan really was keyed to the rezoning of Coney Island back in 2009. It opened the way for creating new jobs and housing and hope in this community. And it's fair to say it wouldn't have been possible without the leadership of our final speaker, who is the final speaker from Brooklyn anyways, who's such a big supporter of this aquarium and who represents this district so ably. The sea lion of Coney Island, City Councilman Domenic Recchia. Domenic.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, and this is really a dream come true. In 2002, when I first got elected, I made a commitment to this community that we were going to revitalize Coney Island and that the aquarium was part of the plan. And one of the first visits that I got on my door was Cynthia Rice and John Cavelli. They came to my door with the big stuffed shark. They said, "This is the future." They said, "You have to help us." And John, it's coming true. Everything that we worked for is the reality. The dream is really coming. And I just have to thank first Mayor Michael Bloomberg. Mr. Mayor, this all can never happen without you. And Marty was right. There were many mayors in the past talked about revitalizing Coney Island. They said they were going to do things, but it's actually the Bloomberg administration that stepped up to the plate and really said, we want to work with you, Councilman Recchia, and the entire community. And I just want to thank you, Mr. Mayor, because your administration has been fabulous. I want to thank First Deputy Mayor Patty Harris. She's done a great job. And, of course, wonderful Commissioner of Cultural Affairs, Kate Levin. Give a round of applause for Kate Levin. She works so hard. I also have to thank the staff at City Hall, Hayden Mahaltis, Nanette Smith, Vicky Metzger, the entire Bloomberg, Seth Pinsky, Nate Blitz, and I could go on. Deputy Mayors, Bob Steele, former Deputy Mayor Dan Dockeroff. Of course, it's just happening. You know, when you walk in this aquarium, we are one of the very few aquariums that are on the ocean, and you can't see the ocean. I remember coming here with my parents and always walking through here and wondering why you can never see the ocean. You always felt you were below ground because you are, but you never felt part of the beach and the actual live waters that we had laying just a few feet away. This project, when I first saw it, I was disappointed in the first design, but then I stepped forward and said, we really have to bring in the ocean to make the ocean part of the aquarium, make the people feel that they're part of the ocean life. And that's what this project will do, because it goes up, it gradually goes taller and taller as you walk up, and you will eventually see the beautiful ocean and the wildlife that lays out there. So I just want to say thank you to Don and Barbara Zucker, because this will never have happened without the both of you. Barbara, you are wonderful to work with. You are a real champion of the wildlife. Your heart is here at the aquarium. And I just have to say that because Marty and I always felt that the Brooklyn Aquarium wasn't as high on the WCS list as the Bronx Zoo. And when we brought it to the forefront, the Board of Trustees stepped forward and they made a difference. And I just want to tell the new Dr. Samper, welcome. You got to keep the aquarium up there on the same level as the Bronx Zoo. I also want to thank Brian Hrbek, another trustee. Thank you so much for all the money you've raised and for helping us out. And this is really something that I have to thank Speaker Christine Quinn and my staff in the finance, Jeff Rodas and Preston Niblack and Elizabeth Schmuckler, because they worked tirelessly to make this happen. So this is really a dream come true. To John Dolan, who is the executive director, and his entire staff, thank you so much. It's just the beginning. You're going to have your work cut out. And to all my colleagues in government, Alex Bukrasny, of course, Borough President Marty Markowitz. And how about that? The Borough President from Staten Island even contributed to this project. That's why we love Jimmy. We want to thank him. He came here on a tour, and he just fell in love with this place. Says, I want to work with you. He loves the wildlife so much that he put the fish tanks in the ferry terminal. And it's just a project that we just love. So thank you very much. Again, Mr. Mayor, thank you. Thank you for what you have done for my constituents. You really made our dream come true today.
Domenic, thank you. But it wasn't me. It was a lot of people, all the 8.4 million people in the city, many of whom pay the taxes where the money came from, and the 280-odd thousand employees of the city that make this city work. Domenic mentioned the borough president, Jim Molinaro. It is really unprecedented, I think, that someone would, from one borough, would support, the borough president would support a project in another borough. But I think it just says, once again, that this is a city. We may be divided technically into 5 boroughs, but it really is one city of 8.4 million people. Jim, you want to say a few things?
Jimmy.
Thank you, Mr. President. The mayor said it very eloquently. This belongs to the city of New York, not to Brooklyn, Marty. We all share it with you. We all should be responsible. We all should pay for it. Very simple. Me and Marty has sort of a rivalry. You know, he has a ballpark here with the Cyclones. I have a ballpark in Staten Island with the Yankees. And we're a little better than they are right now over the 11 years. I have concerts and Marty has concerts. His concerts are much better than mine. No question. So I decided to put 2 fish tanks in the Staten Island ferry. So Marty says, I'm not going to let you do that. He came, he's building his big shop. He has me beat there. But we have a close relationship, and this is one city which is brought together and kept together by one great mayor, and that's our Mayor Bloomberg. He's the man that makes it happen every day in the week. He puts it together. He's been good to all the boroughs, my borough especially. He gave me a $65 million indoor track that's under construction right now, and he's renovated practically all of my waterfront. So I thank you, I thank the city of New York, and I thank you, the people that pay the taxes, to make this all happen. So thank you, and God bless you.
Jim, thank you. It should be noted the architectural firm is Portico, working with the staff of the Wildlife Conservation and the Brooklyn Aquarium. Before taking questions, let me just summarize today's announcement for our Spanish-speaking New Yorkers. Estamos anunciando un nuevo diseño del edificio Maravillas del Océano del Actuario de Nueva York. Va a traer a los visitantes más cerca a más criaturas del mar, incluyendo los tiburones. Tiburones, for those that you don't know, are sharks. Yeah, and I assume Tiburon, the city just outside of San Francisco, there's probably where a lot of sharks right off, and that's where the name came from. Anyways, we will take some questions. I should point out that this press conference is the last press conference that one Stu Lozer will be in charge of, at least where I am speaking. I think it's fair to say that all the mistakes that I've made were created by Stu. He was the one that told me to mispronounce words. He was the one that told me to screw up continuously, say things I shouldn't say. I kept saying, Stu, no, that's not PC. No, that's not right. Stu said, go for it. All kidding aside, Stu Lozer has been phenomenal, not just for me, but for this city. He really has made an enormous difference. We all wish him well in his next career. And if there's anybody that really has been a professional that has dedicated his life to public service, it is Stu Lozer. So Stu, hiding right over there in plain sight, you can question his cap, his hat, but that's neither here nor there. Where'd you get that?
It's a little place called Orchard Street.
Orchard Street, that figures. We'll be happy to take some questions first.